Today is December 26th. Chances are, if you've survived through November and December of 2020, and you're probably familiar with the enormous Saturn conjunct Jupiter and Mars square Pluto transit that's happening between the 21st up till now, and the ramifications will last long into the future. People have asked, is there anything I can do to help? Keep watching. Help is on the way. Come along on a little ride with me through psychoactive landscapes of experience. These are short frequency samples representing new technology breakthroughs and updates from Sound of Stars. Sit back. I'll be your host for the evening, Doc Stars. I hope that you enjoy your brief time with us. Check out the description in audio and in the comments section below. You can find out more there. Okay, so I wanted to give you guys some information on what you've just watched and what you've just heard. So we now have over 200 new frequency tracks. They're being sold as one collection. I'm keeping the price down for a number of reasons, at least for about 30 days. Those 200 tracks are going to be about 2 to 3 minutes roughly in length each. They use the same technology that we've gotten really good results with, but there's been a lot of improvements. And you've probably noticed that one of the improvements is just in the listening to the sound quality experience. Keep in mind that most of the frequencies that we've had to date, although they've been effective for a lot of people, some of them have a bit of a musical quality, some of them people consider to be pleasant to listen to. The goal and the intention was to try to really, I don't want to say force, but to induce state change strongly. And so some of the frequencies that we have, you know, they can come across as a little bit jarring, especially if you haven't heard them before, and especially if you need a state change fast. So, over the last few years, a lot of users and members have just commented on the fact that they want and prefer something that just sounds better. So I had to take a different approach on this, and what you'll notice is that although this collection does come with a variety of the not so musical quality frequencies that you can use in your silent delivery devices like coils, etc., the majority of these tracks are meant to sound musical. They're meant for you to put on in the background as an ambient sound layered through the different tracks. So the approach basically is you go through the tracks and you select, I would suggest you select 10, 20, 30 of the ones that seem the most invigorating or soothing or whatever you feel you need, and then put that on like a loop playback. So just you want to play it over and over again. Now, usually the way that our frequencies have worked in the past was through resonant entrainment. So you would usually pick 1 to 3 tracks, you'd loop it and you let it play for as much as an hour or longer, and then you would feel the change in your body. So with these ones, the same kind of principle is at play, but it's a softer approach. It's meant to kind of soak in, you know, kind of like through a sound osmosis, you know, procedure. So that what that basically means is you have it running in the background and it's soaking the bioactive, psychoactive information into you. This is a new prototype. It's based on the winning tech that we've had to date. I can tell you that developing it was a real pleasure. One of the things that you should know too is that in these audio tracks are certain kinds of themes, and so the themes are essentially addressing things like the Saturn conjunct Jupiter transit. A lot of you, whether, you know, it's hard to tell what the levels of awareness or understanding is for everybody, but I'm guessing a number of you are probably aware, you know, that there's been a huge impact through Saturn conjunct Jupiter. The way that you would tell is you would try to figure out in your own chart what house the Saturn conjunct Jupiter was in. But everybody's going to feel it, most likely, just to different degrees. And, you know, one of the things I wanted to do is figure out what can I do on my end to help and support people that have had a pretty good shake-up from this transit. And then the other thing is we've also got the Mars square Pluto, which is essentially a very aggressive, destructive, warlike transit. So those two aspects are happening from the 21st to the 26th. And the Saturn conjunct Jupiter one is going to have long-term effects and long-term consequences. So even after this conjunction passes, people are still going to be feeling the effects of that, and you're going to need some way to cope. And I think that one of the ways to cope is to ensure that your attitude, your state of mind, and the state of your heart is in balance and it's going in a positive direction. You know, everything that's been going on is enough to unhinge and destabilize large numbers of people. And everything that I've seen through my models and through conversations with peers, conversations with my mentor and other mentors, it does seem like there are certain paths through this chaos. Not a lot of them. There's only a few. But in order to get on one of the paths that makes it through this turbulence and chaos, it's absolutely required of you that you pay attention to your attitude, your state of mind, and the state of your heart. And what that means basically is that when times of crisis come, you're not overwhelmed. You have the presence and the wherewithal to make the right decision at the right time. You don't want to make a poor decision at a bad time, not with everything that all of us are going through. So the points of these frequencies, there's 3 to 4, basically mainly 3 themes, like signals encoded. So the special tech, the psychoactive part that I mentioned, this is instructions, an instruction set that's embedded into the frequencies. And the idea is that these instruction sets will soak into your body and mind. And they're not complex, you know, they're fairly simplistic, but there's a lot of potency there, because what it means is that it will unconsciously, subconsciously, and consciously, it should support you towards becoming more present and aware in the moment and feeling centered. And one of the themes that's encoded in these frequencies is the abatement or dissolving of fear. You know, we've all been blasted by a whole lot of fear this last while. So one of the central themes in this frequency set is meant to purge the fear from the mind. You should notice that because these ones are working differently, expect it to soak in. Like I said, these are ambient soundtracks. So they're, you know, we've had major improvements in the sound quality using different kinds of MIDI based instruments. So you should be able to put it on, just listen to it, experience the effect. Probably based on what I'm seeing here, it would take longer for these effects to kick in, because they're not like the force driving, you know, 10-minute looped dedicated tracks that we've produced in the past. But the information set's the same. So that means that the effects should be soothing. It's something that you should be able to just put it on in the background, let it play, and then let it soak in. And then some of the other themes in this frequency collection have to do with the harmonizing of the Saturn and Jupiter energies. You know, and I know a lot of you are aware that I study not just the different sciences, but also astrology. Understand that when I say Saturn conjunct Jupiter, if we take a look at this as an actual energetic archetypal field, what we're dealing with is an expansion of a force field and a contraction of a force field. So the expanding force field is Jupiter, the contracting force field is Saturn. So the qualities that these are associated with, they're impacting each other. It's the immovable, you know, object meets the irresistible force. So that's quite explosive. So the idea then is, how do we balance that energy and transform it in a positive way? And so some of the information that's embedded in these frequencies are meant to support that process. So that's my help to you. I wish all of you the best. Thanks very much to Luke Soundwalker, a Cymatics artist in Norway, who did an excellent geometric representation of the geometry and topology in our frequencies with his Cymatics renders. You can check out more about Luke in the comments section below. If you want to take advantage of this collection series, I'm not going to put it's going to be a small price. It'll be probably something like 89 bucks. And I'm going to keep that in place for at least till the end of January 2021. And then probably it'll go up to, I'm going to guess, somewhere around 249 US. But for now, take advantage of the 89.97 collection. You know, my guess is that this is something that likely could help you quite a bit, and you've got at least until the end of January 2021. You can access that in the comment section below. Give me at least a day or two to turn it around. You can purchase it through PayPal, and then just give me up to 48 hours to get your access and download to you. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year's. We'll do our best to make it through this, and we will make it through.